All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Mind Body Blend. We're in the final week, 5 Tuesdays in the month of January 2024. We have been working on isometric exercise for maintaining or helping with high blood pressure. So check other videos this month if you haven't been with me. It's kind of a progressive class. So we've been working up to holding our exercises longer and longer to getting to that sweet spot of 2 minutes. Now, I know that this can be a challenging class today. So what I have done is I've formulated exercises that give you several options to hold weights, not weights, whatever you want during this 2 minute hold. And we'll be using several different muscles that will be firing isometrically. So if you get tired in one muscle group, you can relax it and keep going in something else so that you can be doing some sort of contraction over that 2 minute time period. So you'll have a couple of hand weights to choose from. And then we'll start, of course, with our Tai Chi today. So I would like you to come to a mid-stance position. We will not be traveling forward or back, so you don't need to have any extra space in front or behind. We'll just bring our hands to embrace a small imaginary ball right in front of your lower ribs, just above your belly. And we'll start with open and close. So just let that ball expand as you take a breath in. And then exhale as you bring your hands back together. And with this, we'll be doing a bucket handle breath. So as you inhale, let your ribs also open out laterally. And as you exhale, funnel your ribs back down inward. If you're not sure if you're doing that, for a moment, you can place your hands right here on your ribs. And as you inhale, you should be expanding your hands further away from each other. And as you exhale, your hands are coming in towards each other. And in terms of the arm position, you can make this as big or as small as you want as you expand out. So we're doing a little bit of breath control with a slight warm up for the shoulders. One more, inhale. And exhale. Now bring the right hand on top of the left. This is right ball position. Tap your left foot to the floor and just roll the small ball to the side by stepping out into left ball. Just moving side to side, doesn't need to be a big step. Just shifting that body weight into the right foot, working on our balance. Speed of this movement is up to you. Let's do one more roll the ball to each side. And then as you step into left ball, we'll remain there and just keep your hands in this position as I give you some footwork. There's 6 steps to the footwork. So you'll pick up your right foot and step out on the diagonal. There's 1. As you shift your weight back, you'll tap your toe 2. Step back out 3. Tap back in 4. Roll the ball to the right 5. Tap in 6. Now we'll do it to the other side. Step out to the diagonal 1. Tap in 2. Step out 3. Tap in 4. Roll the ball 5. Tap in 6. Good. And again to the right side diagonal 1. Tap in 2. 3. 4. Roll the ball 5. Tap in 6. Again to the left diagonal 1. Tap in 2. Step out 3. tap in 4, roll the ball 5, tap in 6. I'm going to give you a little bit of a tougher option on balance. On number 2, you can lift your knee. So we'll step out diagonal, 1, lift the knee, 2, step out 3, tap in 4, roll the ball 5, tap in 6. Let's try that to the other side. Diagonal, 1. Option to lift the knee, 2. Step out 3, tap in 4, roll the ball 5, tap in 6. Okay, with this, we'll add part the wild horse's mane. So we'll step out 1, brush the hands, lift the knee 2, step out 3. As you tap in 4, come to left ball, roll the ball 5, tap in 6. Okay, step out left diagonal, part the wild horse's mane, 1. Lift the knee, 2. Step out 3. As you tap in, come into left ball. It's like you're doing a roll the ball movement. Step out left and roll the ball, 5, tap in 6. All right, to that right side, part the wild horse's mane, 1. Lift the knee, 2, or you can tap in, step out 3, switch your hands into left ball, 4, roll the ball to the right, 5, tap in 6. How we doing? Step out, part the wild horse's mane, 1, lift the knee, 2, step out 3. As you tap in, come to right ball, 4, roll the ball left, 5, tap in 6. Let's do this one more time to each side. Part the wild horse's mane, 1, lift the knee, 2. Whoop. There we go. Step out 3. Switch to left ball on 4. Roll the ball 5. Tap in 6. One more time to your left side. Part the wild horse's mane, 1. Lift the knee, 2. Step out 3. Shift to right ball, 4. Roll the ball to the left, 5. Tap in 6. Place hands to your shoulders, step out, brush away, and come to start position. Nicely done. If you want to work on that again, you can always go back on YouTube and replay our warm-up section just to really get that down. Okay, so for today, we are doing 2-minute holds with our weight training. I want to do a little bit of a warm-up using a wall or chair for balance just for your hamstrings, and then a little bit for your calf as well. So I'd like you to stand holding on to a wall or chair on the right side of your body. Bring your left foot out to the side, and what I want you to do without changing the angle of your hip is to pull your heel back towards your butt, firing your hamstring, and then extend it out. And you can flex your ankle and then point your toe. So we're going flex and point, bend and straighten. 7 more. So in our first exercise today for a 2-minute hold, we will be holding the leg out to the side as well as the hamstring contracted by pulling the heel to the butt. Let's do 2 more. Pull back and extend. 1 more. Pull back and extend. All right, let's switch sides. I'm just going to turn around. You'll also have a different viewpoint here. So we'll lift that leg any amount up. So we're firing this outer hip, and then we will bend the knee. This one's going to be a little tougher for me. And extend. Flex and point. So a little over 4 months post-op knee replacement, this is still kind of a struggle for me to have that strength to pull back to a good range. You go as far back as you can. And let's get 3 more here. Flex and point, bend and extend. 1 more and lower down. So with our first exercise, what we'll be doing is holding the leg out, holding the knee bent right here in this position with these muscles in the hip and the hamstring working. And then you get to pick whatever you want to do for the upper body. So you're going to use your right hand on the chair, pick up a weight of any size. If you want to do an arm raise, if you want to do a side raise, if you want to do an upright row, if you want to do a bicep curl, that's the one I'm going to choose today, is a bicep curl. So decide what you want to do for your arm for 2 minutes. And I'll get my clock ready to go. We're standing on our right foot, lifting our left leg to the side, contracting the hamstring on 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Good. Now, if you want to let go of the chair, you can and really work on your balance here, but this is here for you. So what we've got working isometrically is your standing leg hip is working. Also, the muscles in your foot in that standing leg. You've got the free leg outer thigh contracting and the hamstring contracting to pull your heel back to your butt. And then whatever you're doing with your arm, you have got those muscles working with that muscular isometric contraction. Then I want you to focus on firing up your abs. So brace through your core, pull your shoulder blades down, and stand really tall here. You can also squeeze your weight with your hand to work on that grip strength, isometric of the forearms and the hands. You're halfway. Now, what if something's giving out and you need to relax? Try just to relax that muscle. So if it's your arm, you want to let it come down, let the rest of your body continue to work. Because I want something continuing to contract for this 2-minute hold. Make sure that that hip is still lifted or the leg is still lifted if you can, and squeeze your hamstring. You have 30 seconds. It's amazing what I can feel happening in my body. So as I'm talking, I can feel my breath rate start to pick up a little bit because we're firing a lot of muscles here. 15 seconds. And I feel this standing leg too. That's my surgical leg, so those muscles are a little bit weaker right now. All right, almost there. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and bring it down. All right, let's set our weight down for just a second. Shake everything out a little bit. If there's any stretch that you need to do, I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to get ready to set up on the other side. I'm going to bring my chair over to this side so I can use it for balance. All right, so you're going to pick the same exercise for the arm. It doesn't have to be the same weight. If you have a stronger side or weaker side, you can play with that a little bit. Okay, so we've got a few seconds to start. Make sure that the chair is within a distance where you're not leaning over toward it. And let's get ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, and begin. Oh, this is tougher for me you can kind of see the difference on my knee. I can see it because I couldn't see my foot in the other stance because I had my knee bent up quite a bit more. But this is good. We're all working our muscles on whatever side to the extent that we can. So just a reminder, what are the muscles that we're activating isometrically? Standing hip, quad, lower leg, just to keep our balance here and our stabilization. And then on this leg, you've got the outer thigh, keeping your leg up. You have the hamstring squeezing your heel to your glute. Whatever exercise you're doing for the arm, you have those muscles. And now we're going to remember to fire our core. So brace and tense. And I want you to get that feeling at the first of class when we did that bucket handle breathing. And when you exhaled, you let your ribs come in. That's the breath that I want you to feel, or the movement or activation of the core that I want you to feel. Squeeze your weight a little bit with your hands. And we have 40 seconds. And everybody's going to feel a little differently in this exercise in terms of what is going to fatigue first. The weakest link in the chain is going to go first. So if you need to take a break in that area, please do so. And 20 seconds. Just lost that balance a little bit there. Good job. Funnel in those ribs. Almost to that finish. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax all those muscles. Great job. Set your weight down, shake everything out, take any stretches that you might need to do. I think one that is going to be beneficial for most of us, if we want to take our chair and extend it out, let's do about a 15-second hamstring stretch on each leg. So just extend your foot out. If you don't have a chair and you were using your wall for balance, then you can extend your foot out here and take a little stretch forward. So when we've got that knee bent and that hamstring really contracted, feels nice to lengthen it back out. Okay, I think that's about 15. Let's do the other leg, stretching that hamstring. Great. So while we're stretching this, our next exercise can either be done standing up or down on all fours. This is a bird dog. So I'll be doing mine standing up to show that option. But if you want to come down to your hands and knees and do traditional bird dog kneeling, that's entirely up to you. All right, so what I'll be doing since I'm standing is using my chair to place my hands on. So this is my hands and knees. If you're coming down to your mat, you'll just do traditional hands and knees. So what we have is a single arm row. So you want to pick a pretty heavy weight for that movement for the arm. So the opposite hand and foot are in contact with the floor or the chair. So if we extend our left leg back, then our right foot and our left hand are either on the chair or on the floor. And now the right hand will be the one that's weighted. And we're going to pull this up and hold. So we're here starting our 2 minutes. Now we can fire our hamstring as well by pulling the heel back toward the butt and then push that leg up toward the ceiling. Keep your abs really engaged, kind of that funneling in position. And maybe you're squeezing that weight with your hand. So again, the supporting hip, the right one, is getting some work there. If you're standing up, you're getting more work in the leg than if you're on your knee. Then we want to keep our pelvis level. And then the glute is keeping the leg up. And if you have your knee bent, you're firing that hamstring to pull the heel in towards the butt. If you're flexing your ankle really hard, you're isometrically working the shin muscles. Your supporting shoulder on the left arm is really working. And even the back of the neck, so that your head doesn't drop down, is firing isometrically. We have 45 seconds to go. If you need to take a break, that's all up to you, especially if you're losing good form. But we're going to do our best to stay here for that entire 2 minutes and breathe. 30 seconds remaining. Good job, everybody. Nice work. Scoop the abs up, belly button towards the backbone. Keep that arm working if possible. Final 10 seconds. Woo. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let everything relax. Come on up. You can set your weight down for a second. Again, just shake everything out. If there's a stretch you need to take it now. So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to get to the other side. I'm going to switch my chair because you'll get a better angle of the working arm if I have it over on this side. Ooh, I felt it in the back of the shoulder on that working arm. Okay, get yourself in position, ready to go. So if you are on your hands and knees, your right knee will be on the ground. If you're on your hands and feet, you have your left knee will be on the ground. The right leg's going to go back. So we have opposites connected with the floor. Get my timer getting ready to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, and begin. So we'll pull that weight up. Option to bend the free leg knee. Flex your ankle really hard. So you're pulling your toes down toward the floor, firing your shin muscles, leveling off the hips and pelvis. So when we are in this bird dog position, the tendency is to lift the free leg hip up and to rotate because we're trying to stack our body weight over the left side. So I want you to push your right hip down a little so it's really parallel and level with the floor. Check your position of your head and neck so that the back and the front of your neck is the same length, as well as the right and left side. Let's squeeze the hand weight with nice strong grip. Keep lifting that leg up. Keep squeezing the heel toward the butt and pull your core in tightly. We're down to 50 seconds, 5-0. And you can make any adjustments to this that are great for you. You know, maybe holding the arm doesn't feel as good for you today, so maybe you want to do isotonic with the arm, but keep everything else isometric. That's absolutely fine. Less than 30 seconds to go. Is there anything you can tweak to feel those muscles working just a little bit harder in this final 15 seconds? And we're breathing. Good job, almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and release down. Great, come on up, shake everything out. Wow, how'd we do? I feel like I need to do that hamstring stretch again with the way my knee was bent. So let's go ahead and take another hamstring stretch and lengthen forward. How's your heart rate? It's amazing just holding something with all those muscles contracting. I really feel the heart rate is picked up. Okay, let's do the other leg. So the next exercise, we'll be doing our split squat. And this will be a really functional movement. It's going to look like the running man because we're going to have one arm in front doing an exercise where the other arm is back. So almost like we're taking a stride forward. So you can use your chair to start this exercise to get you in the right position. What we need for weights is a weight so that your left arm is forward and your right arm is back. So it's going to look similar to this. So I have a little bend in my arm, but I have it forward. So I'm working my shoulder and my bicep. My other arm is back a little bit. It can be straight, it can be bent. So I'm working the tricep and the back of the shoulder. So I'm going to take a heavier weight in my left hand and a lighter weight in my right hand. So for this exercise then, starting from our chair, sitting toward the end, our right foot will be in front. Our left foot will be slightly behind with our heel up. And then when we stand up, The opposite arm of the front foot is going to go forward while the other arm goes back. Okay, so our goal is going to be to hold that for our 2 minutes. If you need to sit back down in the chair, you can do that. So let's get ourselves ready. So remember, your right foot's in front, your heavier weight is in the left hand, your lighter weight probably in the back hand, but you decide what you're going to do there with those. All right, getting ready to reset the clock in 5, 4, 3, 2, come up. All right, so we're pretty low down in this squat. I'm just a few inches off my chair. The left arm in front, squeeze that weight. The right arm behind you, lift it up at any height, and you can even straighten it completely out if you have a pretty light weight. Now check to make sure your knees aren't collapsing in or bowing out, so keep everything nice and parallel. And this feels like such a powerful position to hold. We have a lot of muscles really contracting. Back heel is lifted. And you're pressing nicely into all 4 corners of the front foot. Good. So whatever is that weakest link in the chain, if you need to let one arm come down, you can do that, but just keep going with everything else so you have muscular contraction for 1 more minute. Woo! So for me right now, it's my front leg hip is really, those muscles are working super hard. And my quad as well. Heart rate is coming up. I can feel that too. 40 seconds. If you need to bend your elbow more on that back arm, that's going to lessen the workload. So remember, you can make those small little tweaks to adjust this so you can maintain it. Fire your core. 20 seconds to go, everybody. Whoa, this is challenging. 15. Good job. 10. Good work. 5, 4, 3, 2, come on down and relax. Just set your weights down next to you. And the leg that was in front, we're going to do a hip stretch. So let's cross that ankle up over the thigh and bend forward a little bit. Ooh, and stretch out that glute and hip. Or any other stretch you feel like your body needs more. Give ourselves some time before we switch and do the other side. So I'm going to change my hand weights, flip the heavier one to my right arm, the lighter one to my left. All right, let's relax that side. I'll get our timer ready. Stop, reset. Okay, so my heavier weight now is going to be in the left hand, right hand. I have to mirror you. So now your left foot is in front. So when we stand up, we won't start quite yet. I'm just going to demo you. Your opposite hand is the forward hand, and your back with the opposite from your back foot. Okay, let's get ready. In 5, 4, 3, 2, come up. Good, so I'm just going to kind of pivot a little bit so you can see this at a little bit different angle, but you can tweak this any amount you want. If you want to straighten this arm clear back, you can do a little bit more in the tricep. Now, if being in this low position is bothersome to your knees, you can come up a little bit more. Because as long as you're even in a semi-squat, you're working those muscles. Good job. And again, if the legs get tired and you're just off the chair, you can just come down and have a seat and keep the arms going. There's so many options for you here. Let's squeeze our weights with good grip strength. Slightly tuck your chin so you're not looking up forward at the screen. Back of the neck is long. We're halfway. We have 60 seconds. I have some shaking going in my legs. This is good. It's a good kind of shaking. Check in on your core. Funnel it in. That bucket handle breath, pull your rib cage in and down. We have 40 seconds. Wow. Good work. Can you tweak this a little bit to make it more challenging for you, or do you need to back off a little bit? I'm going to sink down a little lower in my squat, really challenge. 20 seconds. Good job. Lots of isometric work. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, come on down. Good. Set your weights down. Shake out those arms. Let's take this opposite side to do our hip stretch, leaning forward a little bit, or any other stretch you want to do. Maybe your arms feel like they need to stretch a little. That's okay. Okay, while we're stretching here, we've got a plank coming up. So I'm going to give you whatever options that you can do a plank in 2 minutes. And maybe it's just a basic plank of being on your hands and knees with perfect form. Maybe you're doing a plank up against a wall using your chair. You can combine a side plank in there because I'm going to count you down every 30 seconds. So if you want to do something a little different for each 30 seconds, you can, as long as you're doing some kind of plank. Okay, so let's get about 30 seconds to decide what we want to do with that. I'm going to bring my chair out of the way here and be down on the mat. All right. A little bit of padding for my knees. Okay. You can also choose to do a spinal balance for 30 seconds here as well by extending one leg back and the opposite arm forward. So whatever you can do for 2 minutes. Let's get ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, begin. Okay. So at each 30-second mark, I'm going to let you know so you can change it up if you need to, or maybe you're just going to stay still for that entire 2 minutes. Remember, if you have wrist issues, you can come down to your elbows. Breathing. Okay, get ready. 2, 1, that's 30 seconds. I'm going to switch to a side plank here. Good job. Remember to stay really strong through your shoulders. Nice alignment. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 1 minute. You're halfway through. If you're up on your toes, you need to drop your knees. That's okay. That's still a really good plank. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last 30 seconds. Ooh, this is the first time I've done something on my left knee without having my right knee down. So that's pretty different. I still have a lot of numbness, so it feels very strange to have my knee down on the mat. Okay, guys, 10 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a break. Perhaps you're going to take a child's pose or maybe a cat stretch. Perhaps you need to shake out your wrists a little bit. And while you're stretching there, let me see what we're doing next. Okay, we are going to be doing, we'll be down on our back on the mat for a bridge pose with a chest fly hold. So what I need to have you do is to pick a weight that when you're laying on your back, you can have your arms out with any degree of bend in your elbows. So we're working our chest muscles. and also our core and our glutes and our calves in our bridge. So take your time to come down onto your mat, have your weights with you. I'm going to grab my heavier pair for that chest fly. And if the movement gets too hard, you can just simply bend your elbows a little bit more. All right, clock's going to be within reach. So we're going to change up our bridge a little differently than the way we normally do it. So when we come up into our bridge, typically we have our feet flat on the floor. But what we're going to do with bridge is walk your feet closer to you, and when you come up in bridge, lift your heels up. So this is going to fire your soleus muscle in the back of your calf. It's right underneath this big calf muscle called the gastrocnemius. Take your weights into each hand. Get ready to start our clock. In 5, 4, 3, 2, up in bridge, and hold your arms out to the side. Now I'm pretty close to my wall, so I'm going to bend my elbows a little bit more, but you can straighten your arms all the way out if you want. I prefer you have a at least small bend in your elbows, because if your arms are totally straight and your weights are a little heavy, you might put a little bit of undue pressure in your elbow joint. All right, so our hips are up, our heels are up. So we're feeling the glutes, the hamstrings, and the soleus muscles working in the lower body. I want you to activate your core, so funnel in those lower ribs and keep those arms working. Head is nice and neutral. Good job. We are at just coming up to halfway mark. 60 seconds is now. Halfway through. Good job. Let's try to squeeze our weights as well. I had my palms open, so I'm going to add that little extra forearm and hand muscle squeeze. Keep your breath moving. Good job. So many options for you to make this successful and doable for you. 30 seconds to go. Feel your chest muscles activating. Good work. Squeeze the glute muscles a little tighter. 15, 14, 10, 9, 5, 4, 3, 2, and lower down from the bridge. Good job. Set your weights down. Hug your knees up into your chest to relax your lower back. Maybe you can rock a little side to side or take some circles with the knees. Any other stretches that you feel you need right here as well. I've got to grab my paper. Okay, so we're still on our back for the next one. So what we've got is a tabletop position here. Knees over your hips, pressing your low back down into the mat. So that's going to give your core a muscle activation. If you need some adjustment for lower back problems, then one foot can come down for 30 seconds, and then the other foot can come down for 30 seconds, or both feet can be down for any amount of the time as well. I'm going to give you every 30-second count. For the arm work, we've got a tricep extension. So the weights will be up and you're going to bend your elbows right at about 90 degrees. And notice my elbows are above the shoulders. I don't have my arms down here or it's not really going to work the muscles correctly. So your elbows are above your shoulders and they're bent about 90 degrees. So the weights are just to the right and left sides of your temple. And then your knees will be up in your form of tabletop. So let's get ready to start. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and begin. Now, I'm going to give you an option to activate your inner thighs as well by squeezing your knees really tight together and your thigh muscles and your feet so that you're really activating your adductors. I'm going to watch this for 30 seconds so you can set a foot down or both feet down if you need to. That's in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can make a change here. I'm going to extend one leg out this way and make it a little bit more challenging. Good. Now keep pressing that low back down into the mat. Good job. 10 seconds to make a switch if you need to. Good job. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're at a minute. Nice work. Ooh, I picked kind of a heavy weight to keep this going with the arms, but I'm going to try to hang in there. Good job. 15 seconds to optional change for our last 30 seconds. Keep breathing. Keep pressing that low back down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds to go. Wow. The triceps are on fire. Squeeze your hand weights. Activate the forearms and the hands. We have 15 seconds. Press low back down. Almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Oh my goodness, that was one of the most challenging ones for me. Take any stretch you need, maybe a full body stretch. Let your breath slow back down. The next and final exercise can be done sitting on the floor or sitting up in a chair. So if you feel a little bit more comfortable coming back up to your chair, I want you to feel free to do that. So what we'll be doing with this exercise is one leg will be bent, one leg will be straight. We'll be firing our quadricep by tightening this muscle and firing the shin by pulling our toe back. And then we'll be lifting our leg off the floor and keeping this really engaged. And then we can use a weight if we want and slightly tip back. So firing our core. And you can do anything with this weight you want to do to make it more about the arms if you'd like. Same thing can be done right in your chair. So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to get yourself set up and pick what you're going to use for this last exercise. So the muscles we're working, top of the thigh, top of the shin, the hip flexor, the core. So pretty much the entire anterior chain of muscles, and then whatever you want to do with the weights. Okay, get ready. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tighten, lift the leg. Anything you want with the arms, you can lean back any amount. We've got 2 minutes. So if you're starting to get tired, if you're feeling anything in your low back, then I want you to forget about the arms and then lean back a little bit on your elbows or do anything that you need to so that you're not feeling any low back pain. Now this leg right here really contracts. So you're pulling your kneecap up. Pull your toes towards your knee. Fire that lower leg muscle. Good job. You can also add any kind of a rotating movement with the upper body. We're halfway. Oh, almost. 10 seconds to halfway. Good job, good job. This leg can be barely off the floor if that's better for you. Lift it at any angle. 1 more minute on this side. Make this yours, guys. I don't want it to be so hard that you have to totally give everything up. Something continues to contract for that whole 2 minutes. Good job, good job. My leg is a-shaking. We're coming up to 30 seconds to go in 3, 2, 30 seconds. Reach out long into that heel. Oh boy, I hope you're with me. Fire the core. 15, Squeeze your weight if you have it. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, and come up. Okay, we're not going to go right into the other side, or else I might get some text messages with a nasty gram. I need it for us to take a break. So either both legs straight out, do a little forward fold, or take your knees out into butterfly, do a little forward fold. So we're relaxing our muscles. If you want to take a stretch for your hip flexor of the leg we worked and had extended out, you can roll to your left hip and do a little bit of a quad and hip flexor release. So let's take at least another 15 seconds before we get ready for the other side. And the good news, when we do the other side and have it finished, it's our last isometric work for class today. All right, do we know where we're going with the other side? We're going to have the left leg extended straight, the right knee bent. I'll get my clock ready to restart. Using any kind of weight if you want, seated in the chair or on the floor. Get ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, and go. So this exercise actually is one of the main ones that they had me do for knee replacement recovery on contracting that quadricep and lifting the leg up. Maybe it was for you too, Joyce, on your recent meniscus repair. So tighten that muscle in the thigh, pull the toes toward you, funnel the core in nice and tight, and breathe. Good. And remember, if it's any pain at all in your lower back, just set that weight down and hold yourself up, or make any other adjustments that you need to make. You can make a rotation if you want. Good job. We are coming up to the halfway mark in 5, 4, 3, 2, 60 seconds to go. Ooh. What is the weakest link in the chain? Well, for me, this side is totally different from the other side because of the surgical knee, but that's okay. Saving the best for last. 40 seconds. Since I have my weights out in front of me, I'm getting some shoulder work, core work, hip flexor, quad, anterior tibialis in the front of your shin. 20 seconds to go. It's amazing the power of doing this together as a team. LisaBug community. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Good. Set that weight down. Ooh. And then let's come back either to your forward bend or to your butterfly stretch. And we'll relax the lower back. If you feel like you need that hip flexor and quad stretch on the leg that was extended out, which was our left leg, you can roll over to your right hip and then take your quad and hip flexor stretch. Good job, everybody. So the rest of our flexibility work will be done from a stand. So once you feel like you've got adequate stretches here on the ground or in your chair, we're going to come up to a stand. Take your time to get off the floor. And rising all the way up. Good. How do you feel? Whew. I feel a little smidge lightheaded. So those of you that followed along with me this whole month, I'm wondering if you did a blood pressure at the beginning of the month, because if you did, then I want you to do at some point in time another blood pressure and just see if you see any differences. I'm going to be doing the same. So let's take our feet a little wider than hips distance, both toes turned out. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, bend your right elbow. Try to reach back behind you, and then bring this left hand either to your hip, or you can bring it behind your back like we're doing our back scratch stretch, and take a side bend over. Good job. So we've got this arm tricep, got the other arm shoulder, and we've got the side ribs. Come back up with the spine, release the bottom arm, and release the top arm, let it float down. Good. Bring both hands to support on this left thigh, bend your knee, pull your toes up, and let your inner thigh stretch by dropping your chest down and pressing your body over to this left side a little bit so we feel this inner thigh opening. And then shift your body to the center by bending both of your knees, round your spine up like a cat, and restack your spine one vertebra at a time as you come all the way up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend your left elbow like you're going to touch the back of a zipper behind your shirt. And then sweep this hand either to your hip or behind your back and side bend to the right. Good job. So if you have your hand on your hip, you can kind of give yourself a little bit of support here. Nicely done. Come back up to neutral with the spine. Release the bottom arm, the top arm. Then place both hands over to this right side. We're going to bend this knee and stretch the inner thigh. Pull the toes up. So your upper body is hinging forward from your hips while we've got this nice inner thigh stretch. A little bit of a stretch in your calf muscle. Good, and then shift both knees bent, hands on both thighs. This time we'll stay here for a second and do a twist to the right. Look behind you. Come back through the center. Twist to the left, look behind. Back to the center. Round your back up like a cat, rolling yourself all the way up to restack the spine. We'll inhale, stretch up. Then as you exhale, swan dive into a forward bend down as far as you feel comfortable to give yourself one more hamstring stretch. You can use one of your weights to support you here, hands on top of the weights or hands on top of your chair. You can take your feet a little wider if you like that as well. And then as you come up, I'm going to give you two ways. So you can rebend your knees and round your back and come up, or you can keep your back flat and sweep your arms out and do your reverse swan dive. Come all the way up, stretch, inhale, press the hands together, exhale, thumbs to the heart. Great job, everybody. That is our isometric series for the month of January 2024. I hope you stayed with me. If you missed any of them, they're back in the videos for the last several weeks, so go check them out and give them a shot. Let me know how you do. All right, if you need to run, I'll see you next time. If you can stay in chat, I'll shut off our recording from Jitsi, and we'll see how you did for today's class. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for playing along. It was super fun.